finally start to see a healthy Boston Red Sox. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Seat Radio. My name is Corbin. So far this year, it's really sort of felt like the Red Sox season has just been one long injury report, right? We've been talking about injuries more than we've been talking about anything else, basically, this entire season. And at some point, we had to get a break in that. And recently, it's felt like the Red Sox are starting to get a bit more healthy, at least according to last night's injury report. So what we are going to do is we're going to break down the latest injury report for the Boston Red Sox, talk about when guys could be back and what it could mean for the Red Sox to start getting healthy again. But before we get into that, do me a favor, make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Sox content almost every single day. Also, don't forget, you can also get all these episodes on the go, available always in podcast form wherever you listen to podcasts. You can either click the link in my description to head over to Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or you can head over to whatever favorite podcasting app you use and look up Red Seat Radio. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. Okay, so the Red Sox injury list right now is a little bit ridiculous, right? It's super long, and to be honest with you, I think it could probably go toe-to-toe performance-wise if they were healthy versus the current Red Sox roster, and they might even win if they were to, say, play like a 7-game series or something, but that's not what we're talking about today. The latest additions to the Red Sox injury list were Wilyer Abreu yesterday and Chris Martin today. However, guys who have already been on this list are starting to get a bit healthy, and we're starting to see them make their way back. Starting with Tyler O'Neill, who should be good to go for today's game. By the time you're watching this, he's probably active and already on the team. Last night, he had a rehab appearance in Worcester where he went 0 for 3 with 2 groundouts. Outcome doesn't really matter because we don't really care about that. What we do care about is how his knee is feeling. He spoke to reporters after the game and said that his knee felt great, and Cora mentioned after yesterday's beatdown by the Braves that O'Neill will be good to go for today's game. Obviously, really good news. He had been battling through that knee pain for a little bit now, and the results on the field were certainly taking a downwards hill tumble, but getting his bat back into this lineup, getting him back into this lineup, more importantly, fully healthy and fully comfortable, should be a big boost to the Red Sox offense that really could use it right now. So obviously, I'm excited to get Tyler O'Neill back, especially too because Wilyer Abreu going down means there's a bit of a gap in defensive outfield alignment. This should help with that. Hopefully, he can get back closer to what he was in April and away from what he was in May. On top of that, the ailment that has been plaguing Masataka Yoshida, the mysterious ailment that has been plaguing Masataka Yoshida, appears to be moving its way out. He took live batting practice this week and before today's game. The swelling has gone down and he appears to be more comfortable at the plate again. Cora saying Masa could end up on a rehab assignment as soon as Thursday. More likely, it'll be this weekend. And right now, they are saying it's possible, not guaranteed, but possible that he could be back to the Red Sox by next Tuesday when they're playing the Philadelphia Phillies. One interesting note about Yoshida is that they didn't find anything structurally wrong with his thumb. So what this means is that this is all about pain tolerance at this point. Sounds like he is doing a lot better. And for as much as people have been disappointed with Masa on the Sox, he will be a breath of fresh air in this lineup. A guy who doesn't strike out a ton and produces around a league average level right now will do absolute wonders for this offense. He doesn't have to be a superstar bat, although I wouldn't exactly hate if he came back and was a superstar bat either. He just needs to be a solid AB, and I think he really helps this offense transform back closer to what it was at the beginning of the year and away from what we've seen over the past couple of weeks. Then there's more recent additions like Romy Gonzalez and Vaughn Grissom, who don't appear to be destined to be on the IL for a very long period of time. Again, Alex Cora must be so sick of sitting down and doing essentially like a 30-minute interview just talking about where guys are in their rehab assignments, but that's besides the point. He said yesterday that Romy should be good to go as soon as his 10 days are up. That would be next Wednesday, June 10th, which again, doesn't sound like a major addition, but Romy has been solid for the Sox at the plate and on the field. They don't need superstars right now. They just need quality ABs and solid defense, and that's exactly what Romy has provided so far this year. So it will be nice to get him back at the bare minimum to just raise the floor of what the Boston Red Sox are right now. Vaughn Grissom's a bit more of an indefinite timeline, but the silver lining here is that he didn't have to stop doing baseball activities, and that normally indicates a pretty short stint on the IL. Obviously, the hope would be that he'd only also spend 10 days on the IL. I think it'll probably be longer than that, but I don't think it'll be anything crazy. I'm guessing it'll probably take 2, maybe 2.5 weeks until Vaughn Grissom is back with the Red Sox. And look, I get it. The dude has been absolutely stinking it up at the plate when he's been healthy for this Red Sox team, but it's going to be important for the Red Sox to get that back going, get him back in here, allow him to get comfortable on this team and with his position on the Red Sox, because he's going to be an important factor, not only this year, but for years to come. And I also think that getting him off his feet for a little bit, allowing himself, I mean, the dude lost 14 pounds due to the flu and then started playing every single day, right? This should allow him to hopefully get some of that weight back and really put himself in a better position mentally. I'm excited for Grissom to come back. Call me crazy. Triston Casas, not exactly the most positive update on this list, but he's still making progress in the right direction. He still feels some pain, so he has not started swinging yet, but he's basically doing everything else baseball related and doing it in a way only Triston Casas can. He is an absolute treat. I love Triston Casas. I can't wait for him to be back in this Red Sox lineup. Looks like his last step, and obviously the most important one, is getting comfortable swinging again. He's due back on June 21st, but if he still isn't swinging a bat and we're already in June, my guess is it's probably going to take a little bit longer than that. I would assume you're probably looking at something like the first couple of weeks of July. Not exactly the most positive news in the world here, but again, everything else is trending in the right direction. He was even taking ground balls at third base and throwing across the diamond, so it feels like we are getting very, very close to seeing Triston Casas start swinging again, and boy, is that going to be a pretty picture when he does. The last couple people I wanted to mention on this list right now are Wilyer Abreu and Chris Martin, the latest additions to the Red Sox IL. We talked about Wilyer yesterday, but it looks like with what came up in the MRI, he's really only going to need those 10 days on the IL. It sounds very similar to what Tyler O'Neill was dealing with his knee, where there really wasn't anything structurally wrong. It was just swelling and sore and stuff, and a couple of days off plus probably a cortisone shot should get Wilyer Abreu back onto this team at the end of his IL stint, which is obviously fantastic news because there was that underlying fear here that it was going to end up taking a few weeks or even a couple of months for him to get himself right. And the last guy I want to talk about is Chris Martin, who most people assumed was going to end up on the IL today due to a shoulder issue. It's not. Instead, it's anxiety, which came as a bit of a surprise to me. But overall, I think it's absolutely fantastic that Chris Martin understood himself well enough to realize he's not in a good place and go out and seek the help that he needs. Anxiety is a very, very difficult thing to get over. It's also a very difficult thing to work through on your own. So coming out and saying, hey guys, look, I'm not in the right place mentally to be able to help this team win. I need to get some help and figure myself out before I can provide what you guys are asking for me, in my opinion, is a really big thing of him to do. I wish absolutely nothing but the best for Chris Martin, and I hope he takes as much time as he possibly needs to get himself as healthy as humanly possible, because mental health is much more important than Major League Baseball. Overall, again, you take a look at this list, and obviously it is absolutely massive. We tried to run through, a ton of names in just over 7 minutes, right? It's been a pretty long period of time here that we've been talking about just flat injuries, and I didn't even mention the guys who are going to be out for the rest of the season, because obviously you can't have much good news about those guys if they're not even going to possibly be here at any point this year. But overall, again, you go back to this, and the Red Sox this season have been an absolute stain of injuries, right? It's just been one long injury report after another, and it feels good to have positive updates about essentially everyone you could possibly have updates on for this IL, and I do think this will do wonders for the Boston Red Sox. Think about it. This team is essentially right now a third of what it's supposed to be, especially that starting lineup, and yet they've somehow managed to stick around 500 this entire time. Getting these guys back not only improves you statistically, it also rejuvenates a club, right? Rafi, Duran, all these pitchers, guys who have been staples of the Red Sox so far this season, at this point have got to be like, come on, like dragging the rest of the team towards these wins. And to have these guys to take some weight off the back of the big names that are healthy is going to go a long way in improving not only the Red Sox statistically, but the Red Sox in the clubhouse as well. Everyone can breathe a little bit easier. Everyone's a little bit looser. And that's normally how you play much better baseball. So I'm absolutely pumped that we are seeing the Red Sox start to get healthy. It's still going to be a little bit. It's probably going to be most likely towards the end of this month that we see the Red Sox healthier than they've been in a very long time, but that's not that far away, and it's for the first time really this season we can say there's a chance that we see the Red Sox at like 85% health, which is still crazy that it's not 100% health, but it's better than it is right now, which is like 60% health. So I'm pumped about this. I hope you guys are pumped about this. Let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think? What do you think about the latest Red Sox injury news? Are you excited? Is there anyone on here that you think needs to be back that's like sort of the biggest missing piece of this Red Sox team right now? Is there anyone that I missed that you wanted me to talk about? Let me know all your thoughts on the latest Red Sox injury update in the comment section down below. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor. Make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit that like button as well. Not only does it help these videos out a ton and would mean a lot to me, but it's also the best way you could tell me that you're enjoying this content that we are putting out. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you in the red seats.